Hello everybody and welcome back to my test world, and today I want to go a bit more in depth on the villager talking thing because I've made some changes to it, as you can see with all these command blocks here now, and these pistons and repeaters and all this kind of stuff. There's an absolute ton of changes I've made to it, and I've not finished with it yet. The thing I'm working out now is how to actually get the villager to say something different to what he originally said. So say after it's been around the circuit once, then to change his output to something else, which is what this command block is here. I've not rigged that up yet. I'm looking on how to actually do that, and oh, I need to break the circuit because I accidentally activated that just a bit early there. Essentially it says the same things. I am aware that there is a command block filter by Seth Bling for MC Edit, where you can change the colours and stuff, and I will do that. This is just a test setup more than anything to make sure it works, and the circuitry will be a lot bigger. I think that's my problem with this model. The circuitry is very small. I want to actually make it a lot larger so that I can actually define things easier, because at the moment I'm very restricted on where I can put my redstone and the timings and everything else, because the timings aren't great on this model yet. This is a very early model. I have more plans to do better timing and spend a bit more time on it for when I'm actually working in Global Nightmare. And this may not be just limited to Global Nightmare. I may put this in other CTM maps in the future. So, yeah, you can ignore these redstone torches. They don't actually do anything. They're just for effect. And ignore this command block. This is not in use at the moment. So, yeah, so there's this villager. And as you've seen in the last episode, we made him talk. You stand on the pressure plate and he talks. So now he does that, and then it goes through the circuit all the way to here, and then it goes in here, and then it sends out some items. I slightly tweaked a few things, and this piston then comes back and extends to break the redstone so that you can't go on it again. And you can't just get unlimited supplies of that item, even though the dispensers will be empty. I've just done it anyway to stop sort of that clicky noise as well, and to show that it is actually out. If you're playing my maps on multiplayer, then somebody will end up with the two items. They are not replaceable. Unfortunately, they aren't replaceable. So if you die, there could be a bit of a problem. However, having said that, actually, that could be the big issue with this and these items, thinking about it. If you die, because I always play on hardcore, I think, well, I'm going to die. If I die, then it's over anyway. But I need to think up a system whereby you can just get more if you die. But if you die, you can't. But if you don't die, you just can't keep spamming it for more. Because these are very special items. These have no real impact on whether you get the wool or not, to be honest. These are fun little side quests, which will probably mostly appear at intersections, to be honest. But that's my biggest concern, thinking about it, is that actually, how would I get more of the items generally available? I might add a hidden chest somewhere, where you'll have to go searching for it instead if you happen to die, and you can't make it back to your items in time. You will have that opportunity. There will be a chest somewhere, a hidden chest, probably near the actual thing, but it'll be out of direct view. And these things, by the way, will not be in any sort of spawner infested areas. These will be in well lit open areas, because I know that a creeper could easily wander up and blow it up, and then you've kind of lost it all. So I will not do that. That would be cruel of me as a map maker to do that, so I will not do that. So yeah, enough nattering about this thing. What it actually does is then that cuts the current, so you can't do that again. But I'll have a think about that system and how I am best to get more items. It'll probably be in the form of a chest or something like that. I honestly don't know. But for right now, let me just show you what this thing does. And I'm going to need three free slots in my inventory, and I'm just going to stand on this wooden pressure plate, and he talks. You can read that. Essentially, he gives you the items you need. So they come out of a dispenser at the back, and you can obviously now step off the pressure plate, and you get 2 villager pass, well, villager passes in this case. This is just an example one. They will vary over the course of different maps and different areas within maps. This one just gives you 2 villager passes, and the idea is you use these 2 villager passes to prove to the other villagers that you are a friend, not a foe, and that you can help them, and you will free them and then eventually trade with them to unlock the keys for a certain gate to unlock to get to the next area of that particular dungeon, as it were. Well, that particular what I'm going to call each area in Global Nightmare, and this brings me on to another point, is each area, because of how big they are, they're not just going to be simply called dungeons like what they are in Frightening Forest or Simmering Sea. They are actually going to be called realms. After all, it's Chronicles of the Unsought Realms, right? So the first 2 maps are entirely set within their own realm anyway. So the Frightening Forest is essentially like a huge forest-based realm. The Simmering Sea is a huge lava-based realm. I've not really thought much about map 3. I know it's going to be a cave map, and it's going to be quite small, but I haven't really thought much about it. This one's areas are going to be called realms, and you will go obviously through the portals to those realms. But yeah, where was I? I completely forgot what I was talking about before I went off on the tangent about the realms. But yeah, each different area does have these different models and different styles. And in this case, you get the 2 villager passes that to prove to the other villagers that you are a friend, and you can then eventually trade for them to get keys to a certain gate. Yeah, so that's what this one would do. They may be different items or different requirements and stuff to actually get to them, and be able to complete these missions. These are actually more than anything going to be based around intersections, if anything, to give you something to do at intersections. And you'll get rewarded with a valuable piece of loot or something at the end, maybe a reasonably high enchanted piece of weaponry or armor. That might be something like that, or a good supply of food, or a really rare item that you can use. So yeah, that is those types of things anyway. And obviously you'll see this book here which came out along with the villager passes, and these stack. They are the same item, so I don't know if they end up getting messed up with normal paper. I actually would have to find that out. I don't know if it converts them or not. No, it doesn't. It's its own separate item, so it will not conflict with paper, which is really, really handy. So you can just hover over it and it will just say villager pass. And what you'll do is you will actually trade these with the villagers. I mean, it doesn't have any enchantments on it. It's not very valuable. You trade this with people like him, and you will get a certain item back, which could be used to open a gate or do other things, or activate a portal, maybe something like that. I don't know about activating portals. Maybe pressure plates. That might be a good one to have to get somewhere. That might be something potentially that might be explored. I haven't really fully thought this out yet. I'm just messing with ideas. But I really do like these talking villagers. I think they add a bit more depth and a bit more story to the actual map. But yeah, onto this book then. This book just summarises the mission. For this one, I just quickly typed this out in about 2 minutes. Mission: save the villagers. Use the 2 passes that Alf gave you to prove to the other 2 villagers that you are a friend, and trade with them to get the 2 required keys to enter the Temple of Tall Plains. That's just a simple basic mission. You can read that book so you don't have to keep going back to the villager. Say if you log out halfway through a mission, then you can't remember what you had to do, you will have this book to remind yourself, so you don't have to go all the way back to the start and ask good old Alf here again what you're meant to be doing. Because I know that could get quite tedious, and I would not like to do it. But yeah, just something else that I wanted to discuss with you. And one more thing that's not actually set up here. Global Nightmare is going to be featuring a new element in gameplay completely that I know for a fact that has never ever been done in CM maps. What's that? CTM maps. I'm getting all accenty here. CEM maps, yeah. CTM maps. It's never been done before. I don't think it's been done in many other types of map actually, if at all in any other types of map. It's a new gameplay element I'm experimenting with, using these portals for something else. But yeah, I'm trying to incorporate a lot of new stuff in Global Nightmare. I will get started on it soon. I think I really want to get into it because it looks like a really, really good map to design. I've got to plan a lot of it though and set things like this up properly and get it working to a point where I'm happy with it. I mean, this is like a 50% version. It's nowhere near completed yet, and I'll have to figure out things like this because I'm going to have to design each portal uniquely. I had to go a bit for another area, but it doesn't really turn out too well. I think that looks kind of ugly, but I do like this one. I'll be definitely using this one probably somewhere in the map. But yeah, that is just about everything, I think. I just wanted to show you off these talking villagers, bit of improvements going on, and I hope you actually like them. All of this would be actually underground and buried in bedrock, so you wouldn't have access to it. But I just need to set up a certain way so that the villager changes what he's saying, because otherwise it's just like it's kind of repetitive, and it's not as enjoyable from my point of view personally. So yeah, that is just about it. I just wanted to show you off our dear friend Alf here, my test subject with the talking villager model. And when I have this fully complete, I will probably do another video on it and link a schematic in the description of that video, and then enable you to download it, so you can have your own talking villager kit, and you'll have all the pre-made command blocks and everything else. You'll just have to change what is said inside them and that kind of thing, and you can import them into your own maps and have a lot of fun with this model. The talking villagers are something which I think are relatively new, using these command blocks, and I hope that I can get a few of them into the intersections to provide a bit of a mix-up, mash-up mission set, rather than just having to go after wool, or they might be needed to assist in getting a wool, or assisting to go somewhere else. But yeah, that is just about everything for today, guys. I've kind of rambled on a bit about this, so I'll stop now. I don't even think I've finished off some of my sentences. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this. You've enjoyed this video, and I hope you like the talking villager model. And I hope to see you in the next episode of my test world. So until then, guys, see you later and have a good day.